Ferrari is in chaos again. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix didn't just end with another controversial strategy call, it sparked a storm that could tear the team apart from the inside. Jacques Villeneuve, a former Formula One world champion known for never holding back, stunned everyone by openly defending Lewis Hamilton against Ferrari itself. His words didn't just challenge the team's decision, they lit a fire that is now burning inside the Ferrari garage. Hamilton and Leclerc were already walking a thin line as teammates, but Villeneuve's backing has pushed their rivalry to boiling point. What was supposed to be a routine battle for points has now turned into a story of mistrust, pride, and power within one of the biggest names in motorsport. And the real question everyone is asking is this: could this be the start of Ferrari's biggest internal war in modern Formula One? The drama that set everything off happened in the final laps of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Ferrari issued a clear order to Lewis Hamilton, asking him to give up 8th place to his teammate Charles Leclerc. On paper, it sounded simple, but the situation on track was far from it. Hamilton was running on fresher tyres, and the team believed he had the pace to attack Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, and Liam Lawson ahead of him. The strategy looked good in theory, but when it played out, Hamilton couldn't find a way through. His grip advantage wasn't enough to make the overtakes, and Ferrari quickly grew restless. That's when the call came from the pit wall, instructing Hamilton to hand the position back to Leclerc. What happened next shocked everyone. Hamilton slowed down on the final lap, but never truly opened the door for Leclerc. Instead, he crossed the line just 0.4 of a second ahead, holding on to 8th place despite the order. Instantly, the paddock erupted. Some accused Hamilton of openly defying Ferrari, while others praised him for standing his ground and refusing to throw away a place he had fought for. Fans were split, social media exploded, and the debate over whether Hamilton was a rebel or a genius strategist began to dominate the Formula One world. Just when the debate seemed ready to spiral out of control, Jacques Villeneuve stepped in and poured fuel on the fire. The 1997 Formula One world champion has always been a respected but controversial figure, never afraid to speak his mind, and this time was no different. In an interview, Villeneuve shocked everyone by siding firmly with Hamilton. Lewis handled the situation very intelligently. The orders were unreasonable, he said, with absolute conviction. For him, this wasn't about disobedience or ego. It was about common sense. Villeneuve explained that Hamilton didn't need team orders to prove his speed because he was already the faster driver on track. To ask him to move aside, especially after following the instructions to attack the cars ahead, made no sense at all. He argued that Ferrari's call was another example of poor strategy and weak decision-making under pressure. By refusing to give up his place, Hamilton wasn't being reckless. He was being logical. He was protecting a position he had earned and showing the awareness of a driver with years of experience. Villeneuve's words flipped the story on its head, turning Hamilton from a supposed troublemaker into the clever veteran, while painting Ferrari as a team that still couldn't get its strategy right when it mattered most. Villeneuve's defense of Hamilton only made Ferrari's strategy look even worse under the spotlight. The position swap they demanded brought absolutely no advantage to the team. Hamilton never managed to overtake the cars ahead, and Leclerc never got the chance to improve his own race either. Instead of gaining points, Ferrari ended up looking weak and directionless, as if they were making decisions just for the sake of making them. And this wasn't a one-off mistake. Fans and analysts have been pointing out all season that Ferrari's calls in 2025 have been inconsistent, confusing, and often costly. Each time the pressure rises, the team seems to crack, struggling with clear communication and failing to back up their drivers with solid plans. What happened in Baku was the perfect example of that. Ferrari's Formula One strategy failure in Baku exposed their biggest weakness: communication and decision-making under pressure. Rather than appearing united and sharp, they came across as lost, leaving both their drivers frustrated and the world questioning if Ferrari truly has what it takes to fight at the top again. From Hamilton's point of view, the situation was simple. He had already followed the team's instructions by pushing hard to attack the cars in front, but when that plan failed, he felt it was unfair to then hand over the place he had fought to keep. For him, giving up that position wasn't just about numbers on the board, it was about respect and principle. He wasn't refusing out of arrogance, but because he believed he had done his job and deserved to hold on to the result. In that moment, Hamilton showed exactly why he has been at the top of the sport for so many years. Lewis Hamilton, one of the greatest Formula One drivers in history, proved he still has the competitive instinct and leadership mindset that Ferrari desperately needs. It was the kind of decision that showed he was not only thinking about himself, but also about the bigger picture of what it means to race with integrity and authority. While Hamilton defended his choice on principle, Charles Leclerc reacted with raw emotion. The frustration was clear in his team radio right after the race when he snapped, "I don't care, it was only 8th place. He can enjoy it." His words were sharp and sarcastic, showing just how badly the moment stung. Later in his press interviews, Leclerc didn't hold back either. He openly criticised Ferrari's overall performance in Baku, making it clear that his disappointment wasn't only about losing a position, but also about the way the team was being managed. Beneath his comments lay a deeper tension. Leclerc has grown increasingly unhappy with the development of the car, believing that Ferrari has no clear path toward a championship fight. For a driver who has carried the team through so many difficult seasons, the Azerbaijan incident felt like another sign that his trust in Ferrari's vision was fading. The risk now is much bigger than a single race result. With Hamilton asserting himself as a leader and Leclerc feeling sidelined and let down, Ferrari could be walking straight into a destructive rivalry that has the power to destabilise their entire 2025 season. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur was quick to step in after the race, determined to calm the storm before it grew even bigger. He defended the team's call, explaining that the strategy was optimal because Hamilton had the tyre advantage while Leclerc was struggling with energy recovery and engine issues. From his point of view, asking for the swap made perfect sense in the heat of the moment. Vasseur stressed that the decision wasn't personal and that Ferrari's main priority was securing the best possible result for the Constructors' Championship. He also emphasised the importance of keeping both drivers motivated and working together, insisting that harmony inside the team remained his top focus. But rather than settling things down, his words seemed to have the opposite effect. Instead of showing strength, they exposed Ferrari's ongoing inability to unite their drivers and manage difficult situations. To many fans and experts, it sounded like another excuse from a team that has been struggling for years to find clear direction when it matters most. Villeneuve's comments cut deeper than just one race. He argued that Ferrari has completely lost its way in 2025, looking confused and without direction whenever the pressure rises, and the events in Baku seemed to prove him right. What should have been a simple strategy call turned into a moment that exposed the cracks running through the team. The danger for Ferrari now goes far beyond a single result or a few lost points. Internal divisions like this can slowly eat away at a team's spirit, costing not only podium finishes, but also any real chance of fighting for the championship. On one side, Hamilton is starting to look like the natural leader inside the garage, using his experience and presence to take control of situations. On the other side, Leclerc is beginning to feel pushed aside, his faith in the team's future slipping away. If Ferrari cannot bring these two-star drivers together, they risk igniting the biggest internal rivalry the team has faced since the Schumacher and Barrichello era. And history has shown that when Ferrari fights itself, it rarely wins against anyone else. Villeneuve didn't just criticise the present, he also looked ahead. He advised Ferrari to stop wasting energy on the chaos of 2025 and instead focus their efforts on the bigger picture, the 2026 Formula One regulation changes. These new rules will completely shake up the sport, potentially resetting the balance of power that has favoured Red Bull and Mercedes for years. For Ferrari, this could be the golden opportunity to rebuild, refocus, and finally put themselves back at the very top of the championship fight. As Villeneuve pointed out, if Ferrari focuses on 2026 Formula One regulation changes, they could finally return to World Championship glory. But the warning is clear. If they remain trapped in politics, internal rivalries, and short-term fixes, they might miss the best chance they've had in decades to reclaim their crown. And so, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix left us with more questions than answers. We saw Ferrari's fragile driver relationships on full display, with a strategy that looked confused and communication that seemed completely broken. Jacques Villeneuve's public backing of Lewis Hamilton has only made the fire burn hotter, pushing Ferrari into even more controversy. The big question now is this: was Hamilton right to defy Ferrari's orders, using his experience and confidence to secure points? Or did he risk tearing apart the very harmony the team desperately needs for a title fight? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of the drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Formula One stories analysis and behind-the-scenes insights.